better than alcohol, man. Yeah, and the funny thing is, if you're trying to stop drinking, you need something better than alcohol. And alcohol's pretty good. So you better find something a lot better, man. Esteemable people do esteemable things. It's like, yeah, well, you want to figure out something that you're doing with your life that's worth not getting drunk and screwing up. You might say, well, why do people drink too much? If you like alcohol, that's a stupid question. Why do people drink too much? Well, because it's great. So why stop? Well, you do stupid things when you're drunk. You hurt yourself, you compromise your health. It's really hard on the people around you. You tend to turn into a liar, and it screws up your life. It's like, yeah, but it's pretty fun. Yeah, well, it is, but you need something better than that. And what's better isn't being straight and not making mistakes. It's like that's all prohibition in some sense. What's better is, no, you need an adventure, man. Alcohol is an interesting drug. Alcohol, it's a hell of a drug. Alcohol, it's a great drug. But the problem is, it's a great drug. No, you need an adventure, man. You need to get out there and have something to do, something worth waking up for. That's the substitute for the addiction. Actually, the addiction is the substitute for that, if truth be known. Alcohol really is a good drug for coping with anxiety. It makes you more extroverted and enthusiastic, more full of positive emotion. And the second thing it does is reduce anxiety. It's a great drug. But the problem is, it's a great drug for the moment. Alcohol is an interesting drug. Alcohol, it's a hell of a drug. Alcohol, it's a great drug. But the problem is, it's a great drug. Alcohol is an interesting drug because it actually doesn't make people stupid. People who are drunk will take far more risk. And you might say, well, that's because they're too stupid to understand the risk. It's like, no, they're not. If you ask them about the risk when they're drunk, they can outline it perfectly. What it stops them from doing is caring about the risk. That's why you can drive around drunk at high speed. Better than alcohol, man. Yeah, and the funny thing is, if you're trying to stop drinking, you need something better than alcohol. And alcohol's pretty good. So you better find something a lot better, man. Esteemable people do esteemable things. It's like, yeah, well, you want to figure out something that you're doing with your life that's worth not getting drunk and screwing up. You might say, well, why do people drink too much? If you like alcohol, that's a stupid question. Why do people drink too much? Well, because it's great. So why stop? Well, you do stupid things when you're drunk. You hurt yourself, you compromise your health. It's really hard on the people around you. You tend to turn into a liar, and it screws up your life. It's like, yeah, but it's pretty fun. Yeah, well, it is. Like, yeah, well, you need something better than that. And what's better isn't being straight and not making mistakes. It's like that's all prohibition in some sense. What's better is, no, you need an adventure, man. Alcohol is an interesting drug. Alcohol, it's a hell of a drug. Alcohol, it's a great drug. But the problem is, it's a great drug. No, you need an adventure, man. You need to get out there and have something to do, something worth waking up for. That's the substitute for the addiction. Actually, the addiction is the substitute for that, if truth be known. Alcohol really is a good drug for coping with anxiety. It makes you more extroverted and enthusiastic, more full of positive emotion. And the second thing it does is reduce anxiety. It's a great drug. But the problem is, it's a great drug for the moment. Alcohol is an interesting drug. Alcohol, it's a hell of a drug. Alcohol, it's a great drug. But the problem is, it's a great drug. Alcohol is an interesting drug because it actually doesn't make people stupid. People who are drunk will take far more risk. And you might say, well, that's because they're too stupid to understand the risk. It's like, no, they're not. If you ask them about the risk when they're drunk, they can outline it perfectly. What it stops them from doing is caring about the risk. That's why you can drive around drunk at high speed in a car, which is a really stupid thing to do. It's fun, like so many things. It's like jumping off a cliff. I'm flying. True until the last 1/10 of a second. It's like then you're not flying, man. Alcohol is an interesting drug. Alcohol, it's a hell of a drug. Alcohol, it's a great drug. But the problem is, it's a great drug. Alcohol is an interesting drug. Alcohol, it's a hell of a drug. Alcohol, it's a great drug. But the problem is, there's consequences. Better than alcohol, man. Yeah, and the funny thing is, if you're trying to stop drinking, you need something better than alcohol. And alcohol's pretty good. So you better find something a lot better, man. Esteemable people do esteemable things. It's like, yeah, well, you want to figure out something that you're doing with your life that's worth not getting drunk and screwing up. You might say, well, why do people drink too much? If you like alcohol, that's a stupid question. Why do people drink too much? Well, because it's
Just can't get enough of this. This is such a jam.
When you're drunk.
Thanks, Akira.
You compromise your health. It's really hard on the people around you. You tend to turn into a liar, and it screws up your life. It's like, yeah, but it's
Thanks, Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, well, it is. But you need something better than that. And what's better isn't being straight and not making mistakes.
Good morning.
It's like that's all prohibition.
Hope everybody's having a good day so far. If you haven't hit the gym yet, get up and go hit that gym.
It's an interesting drug. Alcohol.
You're sitting on the couch. Get up and go to the gym.
It's a great drug.
If you haven't gone to the gym already.
It's a great drug.
If you literally woke up and you're not doing
You
nothing,
need an adventure, man. You need to get out
give
there
me
and
some
have something to
push-ups.
do. Something worth waking up for. That's the substitute for the addiction. Actually, the addiction is...
Find yourself something. Find yourself something new, something different. Got to test yourself. Got to put yourself through the ringer. What's the next level?
And the second thing it does is reduce anxiety. It's a great drug. But the problem is, it's a great drug for the moment.
Get it right, get it right, get it right, get it right, get it right. Got that black coffee in hand. If you can see it. Black coffee in hand. Ready to rock and roll. Always shout outs to Akira. He's got that good music, motivational, informational, inspirational.
People who are drunk will take far more risk. And you might say, well, that's because they're too stupid to understand the risk. It's like, no, they're not. If you ask them about the risk when they're drunk,
They know.
they find it perfectly.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump into these bushes. Yeah, the bushes are probably gonna stab me, but it's been fine. I'll live.
Drunk at high speed in a car, which is a really stupid thing to do. It's fun, like so many things. It's like jumping off a cliff. True until the last 1/10 of a second. It's like
I don't know what was that dance move?
Alcohol is an interesting drug.
All right. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. We're gonna learn a little more about alcohol and religion today. How it coincides. We've got this Mufti Mink. We're not gonna watch that whole 20 minutes, but we got some articles pulled up here from the wikis. Now, we know the wikis isn't the most reliable of sources. So, obviously, it's going to be somewhat biased and there's going to be missing informations. And when it comes to religion, there's a lot of mystique and mystery. So, to say there's an accredited study done is hard, because how deep has somebody actually gotten into one particular religion or sect to study it and not be a full-fledged member of that said particular religion. So the secrets are within. How do we find them? I don't know. The internet is pretty good about that. I'm sure there's a lot of religious people out there that don't drink, which that's great. I personally have had a long, tenured experience with alcohol. It's mostly good, but a lot of bad moments too. So I now abstain from it for the most part, unless I have like a hotel room or I'm using an Uber. I try not to, I do my best to not drink otherwise. I mean, even once every 3 months maybe is where I'm at. I don't even think about it. Whereas a few years ago, I was doing every three to 5 nights a week, was out drinking, sloshed to the gills, trying to chase women, drinks. And then you made the decision to stop with the drinking, change the lifestyle, and it's an interesting place to be in, and the world does not always encourage everybody to be in that place of sober. So your people are out there that are sober like you. Trust me, you just got to go find them. So let's start with this video from this guy here. Why they call it spirits. Now this is going to relate more so to, I think, the United States, but I think it could expand past that and probably even further. So let's see what this guy, what's his name here? Oh, Infinite Waters. I don't know if that's his. Let's see what he's got to say.
Do you want a shot, Ralph? No, I'm good. You see, deep divers, people always used to ask me that in high school. Do you want a drink of some alcohol, Ralph? And I would be like, nah, I'm good. But I'm no saint, deep divers. Sometimes I would succumb to the peer pressure and say, actually, give me that shot. Let me just see what it tastes like.
Let me have that
and I
good
would drink
stuff.
it. And then I would start looking a bit shaky, baby, get really pissed, intoxicated. Not good. But why you turn down their alcohol offer? Because after that point, I never drank again.
When I learned about
And
this
I turned
particular
down a lot
perspective, it made it really interesting to look at
people's
alcohol
offers
and then
for
looking
alcohol,
back of my
because
experiences.
I know what alcohol is, deep divers. And if you are turning down their offer
Deep divers.
to a glass of whiskey, congratulations.
My deep diver for being in
because
here.
you are protecting your energy. Who? The World Health Organization, deep divers. That's who.
No, the
They
WHO.
published a study in 2018.
Let's go.
Research showing that
Greta.
annually 3 million people die from alcohol. 1 in 20 people.
That's how many? Wait.
Annually 3 million.
Annually, 3 million die from alcohol. That's all.
People die.
No big deal, right?
From
We're just
alcohol. 1 in 20 people.
shake it fast. Show me what you're
Die
working with. Pop
from
them
alcohol
bottles in the club tonight.
worldwide.
Let me see what you're working for me. That's a remix right there.
Annually. Okay? Do you know why
Phew.
they call
Whew.
alcohol? What the etymology of the word is? It's
Yo,
from an
this man.
Arabic word, al-kul, which actually means body-eating spirit. Have you ever wondered, deep divers, why they call alcohol spirits? That's because once you drink the spirits take over you. Gall. That's a
Oh, look at the
English word, right?
the
For
spirits
demon,
moved the
monster.
bush, or was that part?
Actually, it's an Arabic word.
Was this-
right? Take over
Was this
you.
part? Wait. Now here comes the tree. Was this part of this 4-minute video? He wanted to create this extra effect, so he had somebody standing off to the side, and then we're like, all right. Now this is the moment where you put the tree branch in.
Gall. That's a English word, right? For demon, monster. Actually, it's an Arabic word for demon because it links back to alcohol. You see, in ancient Egypt, you had alchemists, okay? And in
Ooh.
the Middle East, you also had alchemists, and they would actually use alchemy
So the Egyptians know.
as a form of
Dude, they know what's going on.
becoming their greatest version. They would use alcohol in alchemy to extract the soul essence of an entity. But in today's society, we just consume alcohol in the club. Ever wondered why? Ever wondered why, deep divers, they call it a club? Because you are being beaten to death while you are drinking yourself to death and allowing a
What an
spirit
angle to put on the
take
spin
over
to
your
put on
body.
that. You're
Ever
getting
wondered why
mentally
people
clubbed
who
to death.
drink so much don't even know what time it is, don't know where they are, start behaving really differently, looking a bit shaky, baby?
Shaky,
It damages
baby.
the liver, your brain cells.
Okay.
So why you turn
Shaky,
down their
baby.
alcohol offer? It's because you protect your health. They don't. So congratulations. And deep divers, a solution, I got a fun drinking game for you. Let's take a shot of water. How about that? So we can stay healthy, hydrated, and then just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? There. Beautiful deep divers were just, woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Have a beautiful day, deep divers. Peace.
Woo! Okay, that was what's with the extra at the end? Okay, yeah, there you go. Wait. Stay woke and stay strong. What's that? I like it. I like it though. I like it. But there's more to that. There's more to that. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. We got another short one here. There's a little more to that. What is this guy? Get outta
fervently
here.
practiced. But throughout the Middle Ages, the proto-science of alchemy was fervently practiced by many.
The proto-science.
Experimenting with all manner of materials, alchemists sought to create the fabled philosopher's stone,
The
to turn
fabled
base
philosopher's
metals into
stone.
noble metals such as gold, and sought the secrets of the elixir of eternal
The
life.
elixir.
A key process of alchemy and later chemistry was that of distillation.
Distillation.
Here, a liquid, often a solution, is boiled, and the vapors from that boiling rapidly cool to form another liquid, the distilled liquid. This process was relatively easily accomplished, and was, and still is, a way of refining elements in chemistry. Alchemists believed that distillation captured a substance's essence, or its spirit.
Oh,
Experiments with distillation led to the development of concentrated or distilled wines. And certainly by 1437, brandy is recorded in county records in medieval Germany. Brandy, or to give it its full name brandy wine, comes from the Dutch for burnt wine. So, while alchemists may not have discovered gold or the elixir of life eternal, distillation, or the capturing of spirits, led to the development of numerous golden elixirs, which for many make life worth living.
Ooh. The history of alcohol. I don't think we need to watch all that. I thought I turned my autoplay off. What? Yeah, turn that off. We don't want that on right now. Turn that off, but unbelievably dangerous. Alcohol. It is. It is dangerous. So that's why I'm here talking about it, because y'all need to understand the little thing about alcohol. Now, before we look at, I got a list here of kind of like what Wikipedia put together on different religion and views, religious views on alcohol. So, in this interesting map that they provide as well, which I'm sure is a little bit backed on somewhat of real data. So we're going to take a look at this information here. We're going to watch this little short first. And this is, and the reason I watched this before I want to share it with you guys, but the reason I like this, you can see the first line. It says, "I never cheated on my wife sober." So this whole nightclub culture, which I've been a part of, I enjoy it very much at times. I enjoy the music. I enjoy the dancing more so than the alcohol, to be honest. I don't want to go for the alcohol. I'm more, honestly, become more of a daytime pool party, out in the sun, in the water, music, food, give me juices, give me waters and food and fruits and veggies and all sorts of stuff to munch on all day. And let me sit outside in the sun and just relax. Somebody playing some music. We can crank it up when the sun's about to go down at sunset. Really get all the full energy to close out the day. Sun goes down. We eat one last meal. Went to sundown by the fires. And then that's it. Go night. Put yourself to bed by like 9, 10 o'clock. I'm done, man. I don't need this 2, 3 in the morning like some of y'all 4 or 5. It even goes deeper than that. I've been up till sunup, 7, 8 in the morning. So don't even. Let's be honest. It's a small section of people. If you're still out there, like, chasing this dream of being in the nightlife, then too bad.
Never cheated on my wife sober. I always did it drunk. What does the Bible say about alcohol? People back in the day, 2,000 years ago more, they
And it's gonna
often
relate to
drank
that
wine
religion that I was
because it
talking
was
about.
far less likely to be contaminated. In that day, wine was containing alcohol. But
See, that's interesting. He says less contaminated. So it's like, because the water itself, they didn't have a really mass way to produce clean water. Sometimes doing the alcohol, what was the result sometimes of what their process of cleaning the water was alcohol.
not necessarily
Became
to the
this wine.
degree it is today. Most historians agree that the wine that Jesus was drinking, it would have taken 22 to 23 glasses to add up to one of our modern glasses of wine. For those of you who are like, Pastor
probably
Mike,
a bit
theologically
extended.
I'm opposed to you. I have this
22,
Christian
23.
liberty. I can do, okay, cool. All I'm trying to say is if you can do it,
I mean, no,
praise
no,
God
I
for your
mean,
Christian
it's
liberty.
possible.
Now, I was a Christian alcoholic. Ask your
Because I'll say they had to learn the process over time, right? It wasn't like, boom, we figured out how to make the best alcohol in the world. You got Grey Goose on deck, baby. We're popping that rosé, champagne. That Ace of Spades is so good. You never seen this. You never tasted this Ace of Spades like this. No.
Family, whether
You're
or
drinking toilet wine.
you should stop drinking. I'm telling you, for too many people, they are not able to do it. Please hit the like button and let me know in the comments what the Lord spoke to you during this teaching.
And-
I never cheated on.
I talked about this yesterday. How Budweiser took advantage of the prohibition in the 1920s, and then there were probably distilled liquors that were really good prior to like the popularization of beer. So like Beer in America, that whole Budweiser, the lager, American lager fad that wasn't taking place in Europe. In Europe, there were, in other places of the world, they were drinking a lot cheaper, less refined version of alcohol. It was only the more sophisticated countries that were really drinking this refined alcohol. Everywhere else is pretty bummy up until probably the last for some places the last 10 years the alcohol really has gotten to them, and for others I would say last 40-50 years, ever since the 50s, when Budweiser really took nationwide in America, and in the 60s, like that influence carried across the world to an extent in certain places. And the 90s had its whole movement with the television and advertising. That's something that's interesting, that I think beer was able to be advertised on most television, but hard liquors up until like the 90s, 96, it wasn't able to. Yeah.